I think what makes a good short film is that it's short.
Period. Short.
You really have to be able to sell your story quickly.
Having a good story.
An idea that it's original to that filmmaker.
Developed characters and story arc.
It's got to have some sort of hook at the end so the viewer thinks one thing's going to happen, and then at the end of the film something different transpires that's surprising.
I'd say that's what makes a good short film.
Ideas for short films come from anywhere.
Your imagination.
Your own experience.
Just little things in my everyday life.
The big challenge is converting just an idea or part of an idea to something that we really want to say.
I'm very interested in the creative process and how people come up with ideas. One that is consistent for me is actually drawing. You know, I keep these little journals of written documentation of my life, but also, you know, I like to doodle. And these doodles inspire ideas for short films, live action films, but also animated films.
Once we've got that idea, we're going to create what we call an outline or a treatment for that short film. Just a brief write-up. It's not a screenplay at all, but a very short outline of the key scenes in this film. Maybe an outline about who these characters are, a little bit about their story before they enter the story of the film. We can then go to a screenplay. We can think of a screenplay as a blueprint for both our cast and for our crew. How do we begin to convey instructions to our crew and instructions to our cast, which includes what they're saying, how are they saying it, and when are they saying it?
Once you have your first draft, I give it to my fellow colleagues and friends and even sometimes family to read, and then I go back and do my next drafts. And then once their feedback comes in and I do enough drafts that I feel like a mass audience will be happy, then I'm happy.
And now the next question is, okay, how is this actually going to look? How will this look as we establish the scene that we're beginning? Storyboard is a series of images that in essence capture key shots that we might want to have in our scenes.
I think it's really, really important for students to create an animatic. And an animatic is just a further extension of the storyboard where you take the panels and you sequence them in time. And it's a chance for someone to actually see their film for the first time in time.
So storyboards are great for helping us make that transition from the printed page to the point where we can go on the set and be ready to go.
You can now start location scout, you can start your casting calls, you can start funding, and you can start putting together all the pieces that you want, including your crew.
You can't make a short film without your crew, without your people. People with really strong work ethics.
I like to have a small crew, just a camera person, boom operator, possibly sound mixer, and then just one other person as an extra set of hands to either move lights, set something up, grab a prop.
After that, you get into my casting, and once I have my crew, my casting, my locations, and my money, I had a movie. Production is the actual filming of your film.
The biggest thing about having a successful production and the key things to have on a production, first and foremost, is having a schedule and trying as hard as possible to stick to that schedule and making sure that everyone's on the same page.
It really is cool because it comes together, everyone has a role, everyone wants the director to succeed.
You and your crew and even your producer and sometimes even your writer are now on set, on location, shooting the script that you originally wrote.
Understand the importance of getting coverage, because a lot of times you won't see your story fully until you get into the edit room. And if you don't have enough coverage to actually manipulate the rhythm and the pacing, you can't really control things in the edit room.
You have wrapped on principal photography. You can now begin to edit your film.
I usually start by organizing all of my footage and start choosing, the best takes of each shot. And once I have everything laid out, I go back and I start really polishing the final cut.
The editor's main job is to focus the viewer's attention. And the editor focuses the viewer's attention by choosing the shots and placing them in a very strategic order so that story information is unfolded in a way that keeps the audience involved and engaged. If you're making a short film, my advice would be to find people that you can collaborate with.
Collaborate with others. That's very important. You need to be easy to work with.
Don't think that you can do it all on your own, because you can't.
Take chances right now. You can afford to. You're not out in the real world yet.
You know, not being afraid to, you know, let someone else's idea come into play. It's really just about being open.
Not being closed to like new things or being attached to the script or what your idea was in the beginning.
Seeing that the final product is still, you know, exceeding my expectations is really cool.
To me, that makes a great short film.